Hello everybody and welcome back to probably, and I said the last time when I did Gord that it was probably going to be the last game for Spookfest. But then I saw this, and for some reason, I just wanted to do it. So, welcome to Slay the Princess, the pristine cut. I don't know. I don't know a lot about what this is. I know this is more like a choose your own adventure kind of stuff, a little mind. This is a horror game and it's not intended for all audiences. Please visit our whatever. I'm not doing that. Flickering image effects as well as parallax effects on the rare occasions has caused motion sickness in players. Bring it on. Unless it's, I'm sorry. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. You had me in, okay. You had me at the beginning. Let's do it. Let's do it. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Cool. Okay. Swore the end of the world. What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though. Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Ooh, okay. Do I get some kind of reward? Oh, okay, thank you for telling me what to do. Sweet! I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution. Let's take the, you know what, there's some really funny options I'm sure, but we're gonna go with what I personally would. And
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
but why kill her?
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
But at the same time, what if the world is just the game? And the game ends when the princess is released?
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Okay, we're gonna go back to some of these other.
You make your way up the short path to the
To the
cabin.
cabin?
You'll find the princess within.
If I move my controller, it does that. That's cool.
A warning before you go any further.
Mm-hmm.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Are we a murderer? I think we're a murderer. I think none of this is real.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Who are you, narrator?
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Why only one?
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Okay. No.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing... You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
I'll talk, but I'm not dropping the knife.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
Are you sure she's not armed?
I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two...
I'm not dropping it.
talking to you.
Squint at the princess while holding onto the blade. Fine then, I guess we're at an impasse.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. You stare at the princess, squinting fiercely. She squints.
It's
back.
bad that that's what I would probably do.
The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you? You'll have to blink eventually.
No. What is the problem with being cautious? This is the only time I'm gonna do this, but let's think about this. We're in a cabin in the woods. This lady's talking. She could be talking out of her ass, but she could also be dangerous. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's evil. I have to think, what would I do? I know what I would do, okay? I'd probably doom the world.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine.
No, we probably won't.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah. Are you coming on to me? I'm here. Listen, okay. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of irritating. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
Starting
If
to.
I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
Fair enough.
At the end
That's...
of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
But who are you?
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
That is fair.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
Yeah.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good, but you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly...
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Oh, shut up, narrator.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of...
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
Okay, how long have you been down here?
Too long.
Well, thank you for the thank you for the answer. I'm not gonna say to get you out of here. That's a joke one. Okay, we've talked long enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I know why you want me to be here. This is the kind of game that the narrator is not just a narrator, it is a player. It is a character over you. I'm gonna keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
It is.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
How long have you had her down here?
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help.
I know I guarantee you there's probably an ending where she's not bad.
And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice.
You're gonna talk to me like that. You're giving me every red flag. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. I'm not saving either. If I fail, we do all of it over again. I don't care. I made my choice. No, I'm locking her in the basement. No, I'm not doing that. I could help her. And then it has an option maybe, or killing her is too easy. Too much of the go through. God. Y'all, this is the episode that shows off my indecisiveness. That's what this is. my crippling indecisiveness. Oh. Oh.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take.
We can
We
make
can
this work.
this work if we just stay here and keep watch.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here...
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she?
Yeah, the narrator makes a good point there. And, okay.
It's never too late to do the right thing. Now hurry, you charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quick. With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
If I'm gonna die, I might as well.
Oh,
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder... Do you really think that this was an...
It's like she's convinced she can't die. But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark.
Chapter 2. The Razor.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that, you're here.
Yes. But I died.
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the... If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Oh.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Voice of the cheated.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, bullshit.
That's exactly what you told us last time. When we asked you if you were sure she didn't have a weapon on her, you said you were positive she didn't. But it turns out she did, because when we charged her, she started stabbing us to death.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons. So there's no reason to fear her. You were made...
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did exactly what you said. Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate nightmare, in which case I shouldn't be held accountable for what supposedly happened. But congratulations, you've been given a chance to actually do this right.
This is Stanley Parable shit.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed us, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That
But it's
sounds pretty
not.
consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? She's not going to play fair, so we should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, she just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do that twice. So long as we're careful, we can win this. That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper lip, and you'll save...
Okay.
A warning before you go any further.
Yes.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will...
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful.
Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
All right.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your
This whole cabin's different.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and so focus up. A lot's riding on this. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
What?
But there was a mirror.
Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us. I hate this place.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she...
I don't know about that.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below.
That sounds
That's
weird.
right. Scraping. I told you she has something. I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah. She thinks she's better than us. Like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eye. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody. Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Call her on her bullshit. Call it. Do you remember what happened last time?
Last time? If somebody came into my house and tried to kill me and I cut his neck open and then he stabbed me in the heart and we both died looking in each other's eyes, well, surely I would remember that. But I don't remember it, so it must not...
There you go again, talking up delusions about a past life experience that clearly didn't happen.
Ugh, it's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Someone else has to remember. Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel or whatever it is you think you're doing.
But that's exactly what happened.
Would I just lie? Would I just lie to your face and tell you a thing I remembered happening didn't happen just so I could stab you again?
Yes!
I mean, just so I could stab you for the first time.
Ha! She slipped on there. She said again, and her taking it back doesn't count.
Do you hear how deranged you sound right now? Please stop dawdling. This is only going to end with violence. Postponing the inevitable is only going to make it worse for you when it actually happens.
Wait a minute. Perfect. That's exactly.
That doesn't sound like me.
Yes, it does.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
She certainly feels threatening.
Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who is armed? But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
No, no, you want me to get killed. I bet you she's the narrator. Nobody has to die.
Of course not. At least not now, because you're here to save me. But you'll have to come close.
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide we're clearly still figuring out our angle? We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance.
Amen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now?
Yes.
You're acting like you are.
Mm-hmm.
The entire world is at risk, and maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way.
Got that right.
No, I have my dignity.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, and will continue to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated.
I know you have a knife. I'll let you out of here if you drop it.
A knife? What are you talking about? I don't have. And why would I stab you to death? I don't know you. You haven't given me a reason to stab you to death. It would.
Okay, I could have sworn we didn't mention stabbing anyone to death. Sounds like she's really out for blood.
I'd like to trust you, but you're being really suspicious right now.
That's so rude of you. Passing judgments on strangers you've. Silly little bird face thinks he's so serious coming down here, but doesn't know anything. Thinks he could tell me to get rid of all the knives I don't even have while he gets to. I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged for no reason.
I think I've said my piece at this point. I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your questions, it beats getting stabbed to death.
Yeah, no, bye.
It's boring if you leave.
She's bored? That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. She's... Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion. Huh. So I guess she did have a knife of her own after all. How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now what are we going to do? At least we're safe here. She's still in chains. And those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment. She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion. And then she slices through her arm.
Thought so.
Okay, maybe we aren't safe here. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed. Ah, shit! Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it. And use it you do. But unfortunately for you, and for the entire world, you keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange before she severs your hand, and with it, she's even better at this than she was last time. Bloody cheater.
I'm going to kill you now.
And with a squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The arms race.
You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
Amen.
You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
I feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
The circle's getting smaller and smaller.
Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight. Yeah. For whom? Someone or something is out
Oh,
there
we're
pulling the
going
strings, and
crazy.
They're all just puppets until we can figure out how to see them. But what if that someone is us, eh? Wouldn't that be neat? If we were the ones pulling the strings, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have died twice already.
Yeah.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times? This is our third?
Yep, bird.
No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction. That can't be right, that's too much responsibility.
Yeah.
It's only too much responsibility if these worlds are real. Let's just stay focused, shall we?
Yeah, might as
The
well.
only furniture of note is a bent metal table, a pristine blade perched. We
Yeah,
take it.
yeah, we take the blade.
Okay, sure. You take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess. This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp. That's right. We've got to be able to win eventually.
Yeah.
Winning is the wrong move. It
Don't
isn't.
get me started with
I don't
paranoia.
care whether you trust me or not, but at least trust that defeating the person who has apparently killed you twice already is a good idea. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there?
Through the mirror?
Walk through the door. You do know what doors are.
It's not a door, it's a
It
mirror.
isn't a door, it's just that mirror again. It isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. We can see our reality just fine. Why should we trust his? I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
We're turning into the monster.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the bed, and the mirror's gone. It was never there. It feels like it's hiding something from us. It's part of the big picture. I just know it. That's why it's being kept from us. Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
I love the resignation.
But you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic. An unintentional and your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi. It looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
She's toying with us. She's acting like she already knows she's won. Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it.
What do you mean
We just
nothing?
need to find a... Nothing bad has come of it. Yet. Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered. The past isn't real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades. She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for...
Alright. She wins by killing us, right? So let's beat her to it. Okay. If we fight her, we lose. Puff out her up for a reason. She's not the kind. She's bored. She let it slip that she's bored, and killing us is fun. Unconditionally surrender. That's just gonna... Flirting with her, that's a bard move.
Yeah, that's right. We just have to think. There's probably...
Just standing there, huh? A bulge.
You don't have time to finish your thought. In a moment, she's across the room. She skewers you. Ow. What a surprise. Yeah, We don't even get a second to think without...
No, I'm not saving.
Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you? We're dead, aren't we? We're dead. How long have we been dead? Have we been dead the whole time? Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now this is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the... Okay, whatever we do gets us another... us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her. As long as we keep moving, it's going to get so loud in here. How are we going to keep it...
Come on, show me some...
Okay, plan. Now.
We're going to let her stab us, and we're going to have a stiff upper lip about it.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades. She skewers you.
You're cute.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. We just have to hit her hard. She skewers you.
You'll have to be trickier than that.
Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you any...
Huh, that didn't do much of anything.
What's the point?
She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes. Okay, but she's going to kill this body either way. She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad.
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was... Let's appeal to her better nature. She skewers you. We're getting close to something. You're right. One last time, that's all we need. And then everything goes dark. And you die.
Mutually assured destruction.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin and we'll take it from here. Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand. Oh, what if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman? Sure, I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is there are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them?
There we go.
Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time. Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined... Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto... It's more of a slide. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or... Don't care, just want to win. Fine. You make your way to the basement, where the...
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just gonna show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Are you gonna say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say, really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
She's gorgeous.
Yes, behold, the perfect woman.
Oh my god.
Do you think we can throw her out the window?
That looked painful.
How is she still alive?
Heart's still beating.
This is fake. This is all fake. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a...
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget.
This
All right,
is all
sir.
just a...
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once. You're incredible.
I'm the monster. That's a trophy, so that must be an ending. Just quiet here.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent.
I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. You are the only thing I have. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that there is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. You ask of things that cannot be done. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. I have not lived. Everything, until we meet again. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. Then we will be here forever, as we are now.
Okay. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods.
Wow. I literally just got a trophy that says the real Slay the Princess starts here.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a... You're here to slay her.
You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting R1 on your controller. Okay. Alright, we'll try to hit the button.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer. The blade is your implement.
I don't want it.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing her voice softly.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I'm here to save you.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot right...
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all...
So I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs... Is someone else here? You try the door. Your shouts and plead. You're here to slay the princess. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so easier for whom?
Yeah.
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with a determination as she rips her flesh from her bone. A sound comes from behind. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down, or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm.
I still
just
look
above
like
the
that, huh?
unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her. Her limb falls to the ground. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours. Blood from her wounded arm drip. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body... Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you...
No, no, no.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, but the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before... Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be...
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is...
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out for her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort... Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess... It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Damsel. Okay.
Your Honor?
You stop right there, buddy. This is all the time I have for this episode, but I am enjoying this so much. We are going to continue it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below, and leave a like or whatever. I love getting feedback. I want to know feedback, so I'm not just throwing stuff out here to the wolves and no one wants it. Until next time. See you all later.